Are the Proud Boys a white supremacist organization? Yes or no? Starting with Ms. Wiley.
It is my view they are.
It depends on how you define it. I have a book.
Okay, never mind.
It depends on how you
it's
define it.
It's a yes or no. Proud Boys, how they define themselves. Are they white supremacists, yes or no?
I have not read a description of how they define themselves.
Okay, that's fine.
I'm not on their mailing list. I don't know.
So are you only on the mailing list of...
I'm not like the
supremacists,
SPLC. I don't
or-
fund organizations that I'm...
Oh, it just seemed like you were saying because you haven't received their mail, you only received the mail of white supremacists. But go ahead, last witness.
No, they're not white supremacists.
And you know what? I do believe that y'all believe that.
Jasmine Crockett of Texas asks simple questions. The answers are jarring.
Let's try another one. Neo-Nazis, Miss Wiley.
Well, yes.
What?
Nazis is in their name. Neo-Nazis, Dr. Swain.
Is the question still about the Proud Boys, or is it about the...
Neo-Nazis.
Neo-Nazi-
We have moved on. Neo-Nazis.
Neo-Nazis are hate groups, and I have a book, 2002.
Okay, thank you so much.
About
So we're
hate
gonna-
groups
so-
that I suggest that you all read.
I'm reclaiming
It's a
my
long
time.
book.
I'm reclaiming my time. Neo-Nazis. Are they white supremacists?
Neo-Nazis, are they white supremacists?
Yes or no?
What's that?
Yes or no?
They're certainly anti-Semitic, which I would join with any member of the Democratic Party. Mr. Nadler earlier was talking about standing up for the Jewish
reclaiming
people.
my time.
I'd be happy
Next.
to do that.
Yes, they're white supremacists.
Woo, thank God. Jesus Christ, I didn't think we were going to get there. Oh my gosh, let me be clear. Proud Boys are freaking white supremacists. Neo-Nazis are too. And this president, who loves to coddle white supremacists, has decided that they should be given checks.
And she is rightfully asking them. Now, because of this news,
Mr. President, the Justice Department has this new fund that was announced today, $1.7 billion.
Yeah.
Why should taxpayers pay for the January 6ers?
Well, it's been very well received, I have to tell you. I know very little about it. I wasn't involved in the whole creation of it and the negotiation. But this is reimbursing people that were horribly treated. It's anti-weaponization. They've been weaponized. They've been, in some cases, imprisoned wrongly. They paid legal fees that they didn't have. They've gone bankrupt. Their lives have been destroyed. And they turn out to be right. I mean, it was a terrible period of time in the history of our country. And they worked on it. I know the Justice Department, it's really been working on it very hard. There's been numerous other occasions over the years where things like this have been done. But these were people that were weaponized and really treated brutally by a system that was so corrupt, with corrupt people running it, and they're getting reimbursed for their legal fees and the other things that they had to suffer.
in that same exact hearing, this happened.
Are neo-Nazis supremacists?
It depends on which ones. They're individuals.
I didn't ask you which ones.
Some of them are plain old
neo-Nazi. Miss Swan, listen, I'm not reading your book if you literally can't answer this question. Are neo-Nazis supremacists?
They're individuals. Some are, and some may be just plain old anti-Semites.
No. Neo-Nazis are anti-Semites, okay? We're going to agree there.
Right, okay.
But they're also supremacists, Miss Swan.
Okay, if you agree.
No. You don't have to take my word for it. Right, like they are. That's the whole reason they exist.
But you
because
all don't
they believe they are supreme.
You all don't seem to understand that a white
Who's they all?
supremacist
I'm not a
until you
neo-Nazi.
define.
Who's they all? I'm a regular person asking another regular person if we can agree that neo-Nazis are supremacists.
I will agree with you.
Okay, I don't want you to be forced into it.
I would agree with you, but I suggest you all take the time and read my Cambridge University Press book
Listen,
that was nominated for a Pulitzer Prize.
Listen, Dr. Swan, I can promise you there's no freaking way I'm buying your book. When it took 2 minutes for you to look at me and had to convince you that neo-Nazi, listen.
Because I don't like the talking points, the leftist
This is not a talking point. This is 100 years of history. Watch this. I'm going to show you how easy it is. Mr. Perkins, are neo-Nazis supremacists?
They are supremacists.
Thank you, sir. Mr. O'Neill?
Yes.
Okay. Dr. Swan, that wasn't a trick question for them. I wasn't trying to trip them up. I wasn't using DNC talking points.
Here's my question. Why did it take so incredibly long for her to answer? Why exactly did she try to insert leftist and leftism. You know who's not a leftist? Either of these two Dems. No. They are not leftists. They are centrist libs. Jasmine Crockett may be slightly further to the left than Jared Moskowitz, but I mean, calling them leftists is remarkable. Like this guy who weaponized the Berlin Games in 1936.
In December 1933, the Fuhrer orders that a monumental stadium be built, a stadium that will be the biggest in the world. The propaganda begins to work. The enormous works are already impressing the media across the world.
Behind the pomp and pageantry were ominous signs.
The swastika was all over. On virtually every other banner we saw, there was a swastika.
Does the witness/expert have objections? Here's the backstory and then my 2 cents. Tensions were high during a Republican-led House Judiciary Committee hearing to investigate the alleged fraud by the SPLC, or Southern Poverty Law Center. The Trump admin would announce a few months back that a federal grand jury charged the SPLC with wire fraud, false statements, and conspiracy to commit money laundering. Todd Blanche, the acting AG, claimed the group is manufacturing racism to justify its existence.
And this president, on day one, his priority was not around racism. It was around doing things like letting them go and now putting money in their pockets. We haven't had one hearing on white supremacy. Yet when we look at things like the killing of Ahmaud Arbery, George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, the 9 worshipers who were murdered at the Mother Emanuel AME Church, the 23 people murdered in 2019 during the shooting at Walmart in El Paso, the 10 people murdered during the 2022 shooting at a grocery store in Buffalo, New York. All of these were murdered by white supremacists who were empowered by the Republican Party's racist rhetoric and policies. This is the same party that wants to drag us back to the Jim Crow era.
2 more paragraphs here. The admin accused the SPLC of having funneled more than $3 million in donated funds to individuals who were associated with various violent extremist groups like the Klan, Aryan Nations, National Socialist Party of America. The Southern Poverty Law Center would respond by explaining it uses paid informants to infiltrate extremist groups and monitor violent threats, often communicating directly with law enforcement agencies, including the FBI, about its findings. All right, I want everyone to understand here, okay? The Southern Poverty Law Center does some pretty darn good work. And they are paying informants, if this is true, because these informants are risking their lives. And look, he is obviously not an extremist, but if anybody wants to even make some similarity, remember The Departed, when Leonardo DiCaprio decides to have his file erased and he recreates his own reality because he is being paid as an informant by the police. He was given money in envelopes because of it. Now, I want people to understand with this line of work and informants, the reason Republicans are going after them and trying to shut it down is because they are the party of extremists. They don't want these sort of movements exposed because that is the base. That is the ideology. If one were to continue exposing this stuff over and over and over again, you know what it would lead to? That I believe even the Southern Poverty Law Center or a adjacent organization outed was Stephen Miller and his communications with VDare and a Breitbart writer, where he was practically writing articles for that person and headlines. I think it would show that the well is running very, very deep. And they don't want that to happen. They've already exposed a ton of people in MAGA land and a ton of conservatives. Because once more, if you were to put the Venn diagram together of conservatives and extremists, the middle would be MAGA. As one man said previously that we shadowed and posted, was that MAGA is the last breath of the Confederacy. They do not want their tracks to be shown to the world. And that is exactly why they are doing this to the SPLC and probably more nonprofits coming soon. If you can and are willing, please become a paid member here at TYT Sports. And or go to tyt.com/join. In addition, you can follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Appreciate it. Have a great day.